Steven Universe and all associated images are property of Cartoon Network, Rebekah Sugar, and any and all other respective owners. I don't know them all. All footage in this video has been used for the purpose of critique parody under fair use. Please support the official release. I just do not get some of the backlash that the episode Room for Ruby is getting within the fandom. I mentioned in my review of that episode that I found it to be a great character episode, not just for Steven, not just for Lapis, and not just to a lesser extent for Navy, but for Peridot as well. Peridot's behavior in the episode brought to light an entire aspect of her character that I'd never really considered before. That Peridot would want other gems to come to appreciate the Earth and life on Earth the same way that she has. Peridot is one of the most changed characters in the show. A lot of her eccentricities can be traced back to things that she used to do and say back when she was still a villain, ways that she would behave as a villain. But for the most part, she's almost like an entirely different person, and that's entirely on purpose, I'm sure. Peridot and Lapis are the only two characters to come from Homeworld. They are the only two characters regular to this show who did not spend time trying to separate themselves from Homeworld society before we got to know them. And yet Lapis doesn't act like one part of a unit the way that Peridot does, because Lapis was a high-class gem and had a lot more freedom. We saw her amongst the other high-class gems in Blue Diamond's court back in the answer. But Peridot? She was low rank. She was just one cog in the machine. You could tell from her interactions with Yellow Diamond back in Message Received that in just her short time surviving on Earth and spending time with the other crystal gems, she had begun to see herself as a distinct person, one capable of accomplishing things through her own ingenuity. You could see how hurt she was when she tried to be that person to her Diamond, and Yellow Diamond treated her just like any other Peridot, as if she didn't have any individual identity. I honestly think that that was the exact moment when she decided once and for all to side with the crystal gems regardless of what Yellow Diamond said. That moment when she realized that Earth really was the only place in the entire universe that she could be herself. That the crystal gems were the only people in the entire universe who could fully appreciate who she was. And since then we have seen her continue to develop her individual identity. She seems like a completely different person because in many ways she is, because this is the first time she's ever gotten the chance to be a person. And so it makes sense to me, and I'm surprised I didn't see it earlier, that she would want to help other gems to feel the same way that she does, to realize the same things that she has. She may have a bit of a bias towards the corrupted gems because they are so different from any other gem on a fundamental level, but when it comes down to gems that she can more easily relate to, she'll attempt to bring around even the likes of Jasper, a gem that she didn't like, that means she might be able to help that gem. That's why I shouldn't have been so surprised in Room for Ruby when Peridot was just as on board with Navy's seeming redemption as Steven was. It makes perfect sense. Here she has another gem that she has the opportunity to help. Another gem that she might be able to teach what it is like to be an individual. Another gem that she might be able to help feel the same way that she feels, now that she's been living on Earth for so long and she has learned so much more about herself than she ever thought possible as a result. It's unclear yet, since we haven't gotten any more new episodes since then, exactly how the events of Room for Ruby will affect Peridot, and Steven for that matter, but that's a question for another day. But either way, the events of that episode have led me to reach a conclusion. I still firmly believe that Steven, and probably Greg as well, will be integral in returning the corrupted gems to what they once were, and based on the events of the show, I still think that most of the corrupted gems are crystal gems. But when it comes to gems like Jasper, who were corrupted when they were still loyal to Homeworld, as well as gems like the Rubies, who seem like they could still be on the fence when it comes to who to side with, I think that's where Peridot is going to shine. I mean, yeah, she and Steven didn't manage to turn Navy around to their side and get her to give up her plan to retake the Ruby ship, but honestly, how many of us expected them to actually be able to pull that off in such a short period of time? What Peridot did accomplish, however, was sharing her story with Navy, helping Navy to come to experience some of the things that she experienced, and I don't think that Navy's entire interaction with Steven and Peridot was an act. And this isn't the only time that we've seen this either. When Steven was trying to get Jasper to just listen to him in the episode Earthlings, Peridot stepped in and shared her experiences with the Earth with Jasper as well. Her words didn't reach Jasper any more than they reached Navy, but in the case of both Jasper and Navy, they planted a seed. One which could sprout into a genuine appreciation for the planet, creating a foundation upon which those two gems can grow and change and discover themselves in much the same way that Peridot herself has. It's for that reason that I firmly believe that they are setting up Peridot to be integral in the redemption of those characters and probably many other Homeworld characters down the line. It really is such an exciting prospect. When we first met Peridot, she was cold and callous enough to crush one of her flask Romanoids beneath her foot. Now she is caring enough to help gems that she doesn't even know are really like that much to find freedom and self-identity. It's staggering how far she's come. maybe I'm reading too much into this, and her role in redeeming some of the other Homeworld characters is going to be relatively small. But if that turns out to be the case, then I think the Crewniverse will have missed a great opportunity to add some real purpose to Peridot's character. It just makes so much sense to use her in this way based on how she's developed so far. But as per usual, guys, what do you think of this theory? Let's get a discussion going in the comment section down below. Either way, this has been AJ22, and I will talk to you guys later. Well, Steven Universe is on hiatus again, but at least before going on this latest break, they gave us a few episodes that actually made me think up some new theories. This one's pretty simple, but I definitely feel like I'm on the right track here. I also get the sense that Lapis might fit into this narrative somewhere as well, but I'm going to refrain from discussing that in one of these theories until after I've done my new Lapis biography. Either way, I hope you liked the video. If you did, and you like my videos in general, and you like the work I do on the channel, then I would like to remind you guys that I do have a Patreon. There are several different rewards you can earn by becoming one of my patrons, but if you are unable to find a reward that you think suits you, you can always get in touch with me and we can try to work something else out. The link to my Patreon page will be in the description down below. I urge you to check it out. As per usual though, guys, thank you for watching.